Can I just ask one question before we start?
Oh, yeah. Whatever.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to get the perspective of those people too. Like, are the majority of them trying to get out of their situation, or are they choosing to be on the street? Because I know a lot of people do choose to be because they don't want to be on the grid. At least that's what I noticed when I was back in Florida. That there were a lot of people that, even though they had opportunities to get off the street, they chose to still stay in that situation.
Oh, yeah. So there's probably 20 variations, right? And you don't know what you're going to get. Yeah. And you don't know at what stage you're meeting them in life that they're at. So they may go through 20 different stages. Either, hey, this is where I'm going to be, or maybe a month later they're like, you know what, I think I'm going to get off, or I need to have a change of life, and then the next month it's different. But there's like this one guy, he put it so well. He's like, yeah, okay, I could get an apartment, but then I need a mattress, and that's what, $1,000. I'm not gonna sleep on the floor, and then I get a mattress, and now I need a bed frame. Oh, and I want to cook. Well, I need to get a refrigerator, right? Oh, I need a refrigerator. Then I need a stove. Then I need a microwave. Then I got to pay electricity. He's like, you know, honestly, man, it's easier to not have to deal with that with the income that he was on. True. It was like, hey, this is just, it's too complicated. So he's looking at that versus just chilling in the streets, and he's like, I'm going to choose the streets.
Yeah, because it's more practical.
It's more practical for him.
Yeah.
Now, there's one family that I interviewed. There's 2 kids and a mom, and the dad had taken off, and they were looking for shelter. They needed to get out of their situation.
Yeah.
And actually, when I was interviewing, the cops came over, and because they were concerned about the kids, because it was like during the day, it was like in the morning before noon, so you know, it was like school period, so they should have been in school.
Oh, yeah.
So there was like, but they were super cool, and they like wanted to help them. So they were trying to transition. There's people that have been staying in apartments downtown, where him and I go. There's an apartment complex. So they'll stay there, and it might be SRO housing, which is city-funded, really cheap housing. But then there's strict rules.
Yeah, curfews, things like that.
Curfews, or you can only keep so much stuff. And so this one guy we interviewed, he got kicked out because he had too much stuff. And he's like, yeah, I'm not getting rid of my stuff. So, you know what? And the missions, there's another situation. I always ask about the missions because you got to be in by like 10 and out by 6.
Yeah.
It's like, well,
that's just like the parking lots over here that I've looked into
really?
And stuff like that. Like they have a security person at the Methodist Church in North Hills. But you have to be in there by like you said, there's always like a curfew where you have to, and then you can't leave. It's like, you know, like, what do you mean I can't leave, you know?
Yeah.
Or something like that. It's like you feel like you're a child, you know.
Yeah, so you can imagine how a mission would be like. You know, hey, you're going here. Oh, you're here too late. Well, I thought this was a mission. And you got to be out by 6. Okay, so now you're just pushing people out on the street at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Well, that's no solution.
No.
And so, you know, there's a lot of variations to how people live. Yeah. And there's a huge spectrum. And what I try and do when I talk to people about this is say, hey, don't think it's one way. There's a lot of different possibilities, a lot of different ways people can live off the grid, and you got to look at them individually. You can't lump them all into one.
Yeah.
So, my brother's one of them. He lives in New Orleans, and
that's a tough city, right?
Tell me about it, man. I had to go there looking for him one time. Yeah. That was crazy.
I actually went in with my van on the way over from Florida, and it was night because I wanted to go to this vegan Cajun place.
Yeah.
But this was like to the point where I was legit scared.
Yeah.
And I was like, nope, getting back on the interstate, heading towards Texas.
Yeah.
You know, because it was just like.
It's real.
Well, and it's because those people are struggling.
Yeah.
You know, if they weren't struggling, they wouldn't be hostile. I mean, nobody was hostile to me, but I was only there to like temporarily. I got gas and I got out. But it was like the more I went in, the worse it got.
Right. Yeah. No, and then when Katrina hit, it made it even worse because it just. In fact, I was when I went to go find my brother, I went with my other brother to go find him because my mom called me crying. Joe's been beat up, and I'm like, okay. So we flew out there, and we're in this area. This is after Katrina, and so we're asking people, and hey, have you seen this white dude? He's like about my age, dark hair. His name's Joe. No man, I haven't seen him. No man. Yeah. And then finally we're talking to this one guy, and he's like, yeah, I think I've seen him. And so we got to talking to him, and then I asked him, I said, so, because I'm looking around, I'm like, so the hurricane got all the way up here. The flooding must have been all the way up to here, because it was just like destruction.
Yeah.
He goes, no man, the water didn't get this far. In other words, this is how it always is. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is devastation.
And can you imagine what it's like by the water? Though?
Yeah. I mean, it was like, so we went down there to check it out, and the whole Ninth Ward is just like it looked like this, a park, and it was houses, just gone.
Wow.
I mean, yeah, and so that is tough. You want to find the toughest living in the world, go to New Orleans.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I could see it when I went in there. I was just like, it looked like post-apocalyptic.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was like, this is not what I expected. I expected a little bit better. I knew it was going to be bad, but I didn't expect that bad.
Yeah. I don't think it gets any more raw.
No.
It's just pure. It's pure.
Pure industrial.
Yeah.
Pure industrial city.
Yeah.
And
it's survival. It's urban survival at its most raw.
Yeah.
And it's hot and humid on top of that.
Yeah. But I wanted to look, because another reason why I wanted to go there was because I wanted to see past that, because I know that there's a rich cultural history and that there's a lot of beautiful culture and music, and I wanted to see those. I was like, in my head I was thinking, I'm not gonna let how bad it is get to me. I want to traverse with these people. Right now, I'm trying to unite the Unitarian Universalist Church and the Buddhist Center. And there's a place. It's called Kindred Spirits Care Farm. It's a secondary. It's part of a secondary high school.
Yeah.
And it's a vegan farm where they have farm animals, and they have a permaculture farm where they're teaching these kids that are coming from like single parent households how to grow their own food. And they're eventually going to give them certificates in it too, possibly.
Very cool.
But my idea is this. You get the Buddhist people with the Unitarian Universalists who accept all faiths, right? Have them volunteer at this sanctuary where everybody's starting to come out, starting to gain traction. And through the 3 organizations, you create community gardens all over the city. But what the key is then you have the homeless people, and you have them helping out in the community garden, and in return, they get a free meal, and then there'll be it'll be where the public has to interact with the people on the street to get to know them through the community gardens, and see that they're not different, and that they do, and then the wider scope beyond that is to try to get the kids from the colleges like CSUN to take their degrees, or to think of it like as an internship, the people that are going for mental health, and apply that as an internship to help the people that are already like.
That's genius.
Yeah.
That's real life education right there, rather than just book.
Right.
Which is more important and more valuable.
And it's more wholesome, and it'll keep them grounded. Most importantly, because it's easy to get your head full, because I just graduated this degree, I'm gonna go work in a clinic and feed people pills all day and not even get down to the root issues and stuff like that.
Totally agree.
I always say we have everything around us that we need. We literally have everything. There's fruit trees.
Tons
everywhere.
Of fruit dropping, going to waste.
Everywhere, and that people aren't even eating out of their own yards.